Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever applies to you. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a contemporary singing specialist based in Australia, and today I am going to be reacting to the group Epica performing Sancta Terra. So this is the react that came second in my 30K community post, where I let you guys choose which performances I react to for the week. So let's get into it.
Give it up for Flair!
I love the instrumentation. Their stage chemistry, what? Oh God, it's so great when you see more than one vocalist and they're on stage and they're vibing together and everything it allows you to vibe with them. Oh, that's fantastic. Like, what's this? Let's go back. Where's the head thing? Okay, so let's break down some of the vocal things that have already happened here. We had a very contemporary sound from the redhead, I believe. Her name is Simone, I think. Is this the one you've been leaving in my comments all the time? Anyway, I think her name is Simone. Her voice was contemporary, but not so contemporary that I would put it into like a pop realm. It definitely would fit more into like your musical theater type of contemporary. And there's nothing wrong with that. All that generally means is the sound is typically going to be a bit more clear, because in musical theater they have rather strict artistic decisions when it comes to vocal effects. Let's just say that. If you have an aspirated, wispy, light voice, perhaps musical theater is not for you. Regardless, the reason I made that comparison is because then she went into a modified classical sound, which again falls into sounds that you would typically hear in your contemporary legit or your traditional legit in musical theater. The reason I say that it's modified is because there's an element of speechiness there and an element of laryngeal height that changes how you would interpret it if it was to be compared to like a classical song. When I'm listening to Floor's sound open up, to me that's less modified, but ultimately together their voices are just, you know, melting over the top of one another. And part of the reason why it sounds so cohesive is because you've got a voice that it has a very broad harmonic spectrum to it. So you have Floor's voice, who, as we've heard in previous ones, is able to put whatever quality she wants into whichever sound. And then you have a brighter quality that's coming through from Simone. And the reason why I feel like that fits well together is because Floor is capable of catering to the bottom and to the top, over the top of it, and then you've got Simone's voice kind of settling into those mid harmonics. Regardless, let's keep going. Oh dang! They have a real life. Oh God, I'm gonna get someone in the comments being like, "Why did you pause?" Anyway, they have a real live orchestra on stage. Shout out to the sound guy who has to EQ this. Oh. Anyway, I'll explain further later. Anyway, I'll take it back so that people don't yell at me. a question, and it's been sitting on the tip of my tongue for not every single, I haven't done that many, on both of the Nightwish reacts. They didn't do it as much in the performances that I reacted to, but I know that it's a pretty consistent part of the metal genre. The headbanging. It looks cool from a vocalist's perspective. I'm just wondering if the headbanging would ever, like, put strain on the neck, which would then in turn affect the vocal performance. I mean, clearly not, because otherwise they wouldn't do it as extreme. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they just never notice a difference. Maybe it's not that big a deal. But I do know that alignment is really, really important for vocalists because it can change how your harmonics function. It's something as simple as your neck jutting forward, harmonics are changed like that. But someone fill me in. How long has it been going on for? Was it always this extreme? Does it hurt your neck after a while? That's what I want to know. Okay. Oh.
Thank you, my floor. You kick ass. Thank you, and you too. Give it up for Epica.
Woo. Ah, dang. Okay. I feel like I touched on the things I already wanted to touch on vocally with the harmonic spread. I just want to give a big shout out to the sound guy. There are so many elements needing to be taken into consideration with this kind of performance. The vocalists need to be amplified because they're using electronic instruments. That's generally the biggest difference when it comes to your opera singers who sing unamplified. The instruments they're singing over are generally acoustic, like orchestral instruments, and the harmonics that those instruments create, the opera singer is able to produce harmonics that go above it, therefore they can be heard over the instrumentation. Because the instruments here you've got a mixture of electronic and acoustic, the vocalist absolutely must be amplified as well. If you're ever in a situation where you're having to sing over amplified instruments, you should probably discuss that with someone and see if you can get amplification, because you're going to be working extra hard if you have to sing over amplified instruments. It's not reasonable for you to be in that situation. And unfortunately, in a lot of cases, that's sometimes what's being asked of you because people just don't understand. They go, people sang unamplified for ages. And it's like, yeah, but the instrumentation and the power of amplification has also changed. So just, bear that in mind. But on top of the vocalist needing to be well EQ'd over the electronic instruments, the drum kit needs to be mic'd properly. The live choir at the back needs to be mic'd and EQ'd properly so that they're not too loud or too soft or not fitting in with the mix. And then you have the acoustic instruments. You have the orchestra. So, you know, there are lots of different things that sound guy is having to make sure it is done right. And also you have to take in the acoustics of the space that you are playing in. So shout out to whichever sound team. Hopefully it wasn't just one guy that they made do this. Shout out to the sound team who had to mic, EQ, and make sure that the mix for this performance was spot on, because if even a bit was out, it wouldn't have the same effect. Regardless, the two female vocalists, Floor and Simone, they're stunning as performers together. That was amazing. Articulation-wise, at times I did lose some of the words, and that's just because when something becomes vowel dominant, unless the consonants are really, really clear, it's hard to hear exactly what that word is. I do think that this was a beautiful performance. I really liked how the arrangement had some influences that weren't necessarily diatonic in nature, and that to me made the arrangement really, really interesting, particularly at the beginning. I found that was really, really cool. Overall, it was very uplifting and it made me feel things and it made me engaged and interested. So I guess that as far as like a musical standpoint goes, it's a great song. I enjoyed it. I can understand the head wanting to move. I struggle to hold still when I'm listening to good music, to be honest. But yeah, overall, loved the vocals. Floors managed to sneak into another of the winning reacts for this week. Dang. Anyway, so that's it from me today. I hope that you enjoyed that. If you did, give this video a like. Click that subscribe button and the notification bell beside it, and more will be coming to you. As usual, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye.